Hey everybody, it's really good to see you again. It's been a long time since I've made a vlog. It seems to be what I say on every video recently, that it's just been so long. But I suppose, I'm living a lot of life these past few years, and I never want to say something without having collected some wisdom on it. And my friend yesterday kind of encouraged me, if I felt up to it, to make a little vlog and share some of my thoughts, because I have been collecting a lot of wisdom to share, and I think it's just beginning. But I'm definitely not through the other side where I can write a book on it yet. I know eventually that will come. But for right now, it's taking the form in my social media, in my Facebook posts, my Instagram posts mostly, and just sharing a little bit of how I am navigating. And I think these are very human journeys, and I'm starting to really realize that the themes that I am going through are just part of what humans go through, and in a way I'm not unique at all. We all have this story about ourselves that we're some kind of special broken, or we're some kind of special person that hasn't ever been seen before. And I'm starting to see more and more how that is untrue. And I think the other part of it too is that when we are going through passages of our life experience, which are not particularly the most enjoyable, or the things that we really want to share with other people, they are the most important passages, because it informs the light. Darkness always informs the light. And I don't think that if you only come from the perspective of light, you are truly able to be a good healer, be a good well-rounded human being who has depth and wisdom and meaning to share with other people. And I've been doing a lot of very deep soul searching these past few years, and rewriting the way in which I approach my experience, and rewriting the stories that I have about that experience, And one thing that I wanted to share, if you are going through suffering, if you are going through something which you've been telling yourself that you are a special kind of broken, you are a special kind of person that just can't be understood or fixed, I want you to ask yourself this question: if you are trying to become healed, if you are trying to fix what is going on with you right now. And one of the lessons that I've been deeply learning and implementing is to not try to change something that is causing you suffering. Now, I've come to find that human beings, whether it is just through Western medicine or whether it's just human beings in general, is we don't want to go through those hard things that cause us pain. And when we come across something that leads us to throw our hands up in the air because we don't have a solution, we don't have a meaning to put on it, very often times we blame ourselves, and we become harder on ourselves to try to find that meaning, dig deeper. If only we could just get to the bottom of it and get rid of it. as soon as possible. And that actually causes more suffering in the suffering. It causes added suffering on top of the suffering in its original form. And one thing that I've been doing lately, trying to implement, is acceptance. What is acceptance? True indifference to this experience. And to not try to pray it away, to not try to, stay in the mindset that there is something very, very wrong with you that needs to be fixed. And this takes a lot of discipline, and it takes a lot of curiosity. It takes a lot of self-compassion. It takes a lot of deflection, because it is so much easier to praise somebody or love somebody that is in their best season of life. And to be honest with you, I have a lot of resentment. Because in my experience, the season I'm in right now, which is not my most light, actually truly it is my most light, because this depth of darkness has given me my true power. And I see it that way, and it makes me very emotional that to feel so misunderstood in that, and to feel so almost neglected in that. And I'm not playing the victim in making that statement. I'm just saying that it seems to be a very human behavior across the board, that when something is overwhelming, when something is somebody is expressing deep suffering, our knee-jerk reaction is to turn away. Our knee-jerk reaction is to simply not be able to handle it and turn the other cheek. And what I want to say is that I don't see any separation between maybe how I used to be viewed as a channeler and this person who's, giving this service to humanity, and sort of this, and this isn't my own words, this is other people's words to me, but like angelic being. And I see how I went from that place in my earlier part of life to where I am right now, where like I've really kind of been pummeled beneath the surface of the waves. And a lot of people I noticed treated me very differently. And I lost connection with people. And I made connections with new people too. So it hasn't all been negative or anything, but it's given me time to reflect on what that is, and why that reaction in people, why the way that I am in my world and experiencing through my eyes right now really makes people uncomfortable. And I think it's because suffering is something that is so deep and so unique to each and every one of us individually, and it feels like a force that is ready to take over at any point. And we're seeing it in our planet, we're seeing it in humanity in general. And there are many people who have had pasts and stories that have been very dark, and they've come through the other side to the point where they don't want to look back. And I think when you see somebody who's in that suffering, it reminds you of yourself, and it reminds you of something that you experienced maybe in your life to some degree. And that's where the knee-jerk reaction to look away is, because truly what it is being afraid of experiencing that yourself again. What it is being afraid that if you look at it, it's going to be contagious and you're going to catch it again. And I find this suffering and this illness in my life to really be about that, is that we don't have to be afraid of suffering. And if you can let go into it, if you can ease into it, if you can accept it and have true indifference to it, it lessens its grip. But if your goal is to avoid it at all costs forever and ever, amen, that's not a full, complete human experience. And you cannot ask for that. And it's wrong to think that if I just do more spiritual practice, if I just do more, if I just put more light on it, it's going to go away. We don't want it to go away. We want it to allow it to be there when it needs to be there, and get the teaching, extract the wisdom. And that's what I've done with this suffering, is I've turned it into wisdom, and I continue to turn it into wisdom, and I will continue to share it in its rawest expression. And if that means that I lose people along the way that see me differently and see that I've changed, or maybe this is my stories within myself and it's not truly what people think, but I do worry about what people think. I do. I'm a human. I see the person that I used to be, and I'm not a different person, but my experience has changed quite drastically. And I think something that was attractive to people when I was at that peak level of like spiritual connection, I think what people were attracted to is the idea that you can escape human experience, and you can it's all about escapism. It really is. The things that people admired me for or thought were so inspirational and special and one of a kind about me was really about escaping the human experience. I'm just realizing that, because what it comes down to is this place is so bland that I want to get out of it. This place is so intense and so painful. And seeing somebody like myself at an early age who began channeling and writing these books, and for lack of a better word, like quite naive. Like I was totally in a different dimension. And I remember, you know, from a young age, people come to me with problems in their marriage, or, you know, illness, or just existential crisis type of thing. And, you know, I had a reading one time, like I was 17 years old, and, you know, this person expressed to me that they had suicidal thoughts, like very strongly, and I didn't know how to handle any of those situations. And it was coming from this point of light. It was coming from this point of the bird's eye view, which is so above human emotion and human pain. And I hadn't experienced anything remotely similar. And even though there was compassion there wasn't relatability, and there wasn't experience to turn into wisdom to share. And so that's why I say I really see myself as a complete person and a higher vibration person, even though I may not be perceived that way. Or maybe I just have insecurity that I will be perceived that way. But I truly see myself as a person with higher vibration now because of the fact that I see both sides and because I could speak to both sides. And I suppose my other insecurity or fear is that no matter how strongly I say something about my experience, how much I suffer and how much pain I have, that nobody will truly want to see it. Again, because of the escapism thing, I truly believe that this is a huge point about, especially within spirituality, is that there's a lot of escapism going on. There's a lot of let's not look at this, let's look at this going on. And I truly think if you want to really be able to round out your consciousness and be able to get to the deeper levels of spirituality, you can't exclude anything. You have to allow everything. You have to have indifference to everything, even when it doesn't feel good. And we have a lot of fixing habits in this world. We fix things with medications. We fix things with drugs. We fix things with relationships. We fix things with our bodies, our minds, with food, with exercise, with so many things. We're fixing creatures, and people think that spirituality is about escaping all of that. And I used to think that too. I used to meditate hours a day and go somewhere else. And guess what? I wasn't here. I wasn't here. I was somewhere else. And that taught me something powerful too, that we are able to transcend our minds. We are able to transcend our bodies. We are able to explore other realities and consciousness. But I was out of my body, and that was a different problem. People might not realize that that's a problem too. We are on Earth. We need to be earthbound. We need to be in our bodies. It's a balancing game. It's all about the dichotomy of yin and yang, of physical and non-physical, and finding that balance. And I didn't realize that what it meant to come into my body for the first time was I'm in my body. I'm in my body. And, I, of course, like every other human person, have gone through a lot. And have wanted to not be here a lot. And my journey has really been about not how can I escape here, but how can I be here more? How can I be with my body and not against my body? How can I be with my mind and not against my mind? And the more you try to escape, the more suffering there is. And I do also have an inner dialogue of judgment towards this experience. Of course I do. It feels every day like I'm less of a person than I used to be when I was in the light all of the time. And it wasn't even a long period of time. You know, I had suffering as a kid too. I've had suffering throughout my whole life. But there was a period of time which I, you know, used to kind of highlight as the peak of my life. And it felt that way, but it really wasn't that way. Because there was still stuff there underneath. There was a current underneath that hadn't been explored yet. And I can say with certainty that I've explored many of those undercurrents, and I am where I am now. And I consider myself to be a deeper person, a wiser person, a stronger person. And I may feel negative a lot of the time, but I know what they always told me in the channeling was, you know, that we have to be with and not against. We have to be with and not against. And that includes negative emotions, that includes pain, that includes suffering of any and all kinds. Easier said than done. But this is my daily practice, and I am proud to be alive. It's deep. It's deep, and I'm proud to be alive. And I can't say that I have a way out. I'm not saying there is a way out. To be able to love yourself where you are. Love yourself as you are. Accept yourself without an end healing goal. What would it mean if you weren't trying to step up to the next level, if you weren't trying to heal past this, if you weren't trying to heal your grief, heal your pain, heal your suffering, heal your broken relationship? If you weren't trying to heal constantly, what would that mean? It would mean that you're just you. Now, what would come up if you didn't have the comparison in your head, this movie in your head about who you would be if you didn't have this experience? If you could erase this aspect, who would you be? If you didn't have that movie in your head, all you would be left with is who you are right now. And that's who you are. So that's another aspect to explore for yourself is, can I love myself, and am I enough if I don't heal past this, if it never goes away? And the answer is yes, of course you're enough. And if you accept it, true acceptance, the chances are that you will get to the point of indifference, and you will get to the point where it's okay that it's there and lives there within you to some capacity, but maybe it won't hold its grips on you as much. And I said this in a Facebook post, and I'll say it again here. Don't erase your story. Don't erase your story. Don't apologize for your story. Don't twist your story into some light-filled thing if it wasn't. Darkness is born from light. White comes from black, right? So escapism is not spirituality. escapism is not spirituality, and I want you to not try to transcend your story and your experience, but be in it, be with it, because that's where the answer is. That's where the freedom is, that's where the acceptance is, the indifference, that's where the wisdom is. And so I'm saying this for myself as well, that I am not less of a person if I suffer. I am not an incomplete person if I suffer. I am not a person who is in process of becoming better if I don't suffer, right? So these are the things that I get insecure about, and chances are you get insecure about it too, because once again, my story is not unique. It's something that is universal, and I think that it's important to catch ourselves when we have these thoughts and journal about them, talk to your friends about them, the people that are able to hold space for your authentic connection and your authentic being. And don't promote escapism, but promote loving yourself for who you are, what you are right now. And we all are enough, no matter where you are in your journey. There is no start, there is no end. There just is right now. What's going on right now, which is worthy of your attention, worthy of your love, worthy of your acceptance. So from right here, right now, I'm not having a great time. I'm not. But that's okay. I don't have to claw my way out of it. I have to just accept it. So I don't need your solution, because I'm okay. I'm okay being not okay. You don't need my solution, because you're okay. We don't need a solution. We just need to allow it to be there. So that's my message today. It may be controversial, it may really resonate with you, I don't know. But it is the truth of where I stand right now. And I just wanted to share that. Coming to you from my bedroom with my ice pack in front of me. And my not presentable self, but I don't care. This is reality. This is real, right? So we got our first real snow yesterday, and I've been very, very excited about that. I really love the winter time. I come most alive in the winter, so I'm happy about that. And I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving wherever you are in the world if you celebrate. And Christmas ahead, and we'll see when I come back, but let me know in the comments if you resonate with this and your thoughts. And let's help each other not have solutions, but have compassion and relief. So that's my message today, and I will see you guys soon, I hope. If not, I will be on social media, mostly Instagram and Facebook, and recently got on TikTok too, sharing my messages and my art and music and nature. So I am active on there. Anyway, I will see you guys later.